welcome back to Modern Housewife. Can't do this with you because you make me laugh.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm 45. There's no modern about that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to do this very well with you. You always make me laugh. Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Housewife.
And a little older modern husband.
Ah, rude.
Great, a controversial video, just what I'm up for.
Why can't you just do what I tell you to do?
I don't think a Costco haul video is that controversial.
What, I got like 27 thumbs down. So this is a collab with some other moms, so don't forget to check them out in the description box below. Honestly, I feel like I change my parenting style all the time. Each kid is different. You're just gonna stare at it creepy. And with Joel and I listening to our kids, I feel we are more in tune to what each specific child needs. And also, judge yourself, because what works for my family may not work for yours. I brought Joel into this video because a lot of these questions we haven't really discussed, and I'm kind of interested on his take. FYI, he has a minor in sarcasm, so you've been warned. So it's kind of like, what are our stances on each thing? Like, what is our stance on pro-life versus pro-choice? And I know that we're gonna have a problem with this one, I think.
No, we're pro-life.
Are we?
No, well, you could say you're pro-choice. Abstain from sex.
Can't say sex on camera.
Oh,
I'm
you can
just
abstain
kidding.
from the bumpity bump?
There you go. So I like to say that I'm pro-life and pro-choice. My pro-choice is making the choice before you have the baby. So I guess we're pro-life.
I agree that you have choices, but I don't agree that abortion is one of them. That is my feelings on.
Okay, I can agree. I can agree with that. I just wish people would make better choices
ahead of time.
Ahead of time, so that we're not pro foster care. Because they're overpopulating the world with kids that don't have a mom and a dad, or don't have parents at all because they weren't ready to have kids. Okay, on to the next one. Baby wearing.
Baby wearing?
This is more for me than for you. I don't think you've ever worn a baby before.
Hiking trip, around, but not around Costco.
No, that's what I've done. I love baby wearing. I love the idea. I love the closeness. I love the thought of being able to give a child what they need at that time, but I can't do it. I can't stand it. I can't, like...
Not very controversial.
Yeah,
it's not as controversial as pro-choice.
It's very controversial. Yeah, to moms it is.
I would think like breastfeeding would be more controversial.
That's coming. It's coming.
I'm sure.
Baby wearing is a controversial subject between moms. We'll take anything to complain about.
What is it anybody else's business if you wear your child or put them in a car seat?
Instead of baby wearing, because I know there's a lot of moms out there that baby wear like constantly, like up until like 2 years old. We saw that video where that mom was like cleaning out her cupboards while wearing like her 2-year-old, which is fine. If that's your choice, that's fine. But I would legit rather like lay on the couch and like excuse all of my responsibilities to snuggle with my child than carry around a couple extra pounds. It's not very independent training, especially past the point of like 9 to 12 months.
Here's something that we could lose a subscriber. How about you just parent your kid to teach them to sit in a room by themselves so that you don't have to carry them around?
How about you parent your kid so that they can sit in a room by themselves? Yeah, not this guy.
Little dude's a little tough, but all the other ones, they know the cutoff from the living room to the kitchen.
I don't know.
He knows it too, he just doesn't like it.
I would do it if I could, but I can't. I have too much to do and too many kids to take care of than I could baby wear. But I think there should be a cutoff for baby wearing, but what you do is your business. Okay, ready for the next one? Are you ready? Yeah. This is a good one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, because I don't have one, so it's hard for me to make the assumption of what I would do.
No.
Circumcision. So we have 2 boys. One is, one isn't. Neither was our choice. No. So we haven't really crossed that road.
It's never the kid. It's never the person's choice. They're never usually the right age, except for.
No, I mean it wasn't our choice.
I know.
We didn't birth them, so we didn't choose.
As a joke, it's not the kid's.
It's not the kid's choice.
It's never the baby boy's choice.
Right.
If they're going to be or not.
And realistically, I don't think they're gonna grow up and be 10 years old and be like, hey dad, I want to be circumcised. I don't really think that's somebody.
That's probably why they do it early.
I haven't really done the research on like the medical benefits or the religious benefits, because I feel like, I guess in my way of life, I would leave it like all natural. I think there's something in the Bible about it. Isn't there?
Yeah, it's a Jewish.
But it's an Old Testament Bible thing.
It is.
So, I don't know, we haven't really done the research. I just want to know what you had to say. I don't think I can make a decision on that because I don't have one.
That's like saying I can't make a decision on being pro-choice because I'm not a woman.
That's a very good point.
Point I've heard a lot.
Oh, alright, well there you go. So, but I mean, like...
Am I for it or against it? To me, because of my Jewish history, I'm for it, but that's only purely religious.
But aren't usually Jewish men not circumcised?
No, they always are.
Because in movies, when they're like talking about being Jewish, it's because they're not circumcised. Maybe it's Greek. Aren't Greek Jews? Yeah, because we've watched the Greek wedding movies, and
Jews are.
So really, I don't know what kind of decision we would make if we ever had a boy. We'd have to cross that bridge when we came to it.
They have ceremonies for it.
But not the hospitals don't even do it on day 8. They do it like right away.
I know. But the ceremony, if you're Jewish, would be on day 8. That's when they do it.
See, I would have a question about that too. Like, do they numb stuff before they do it, or do they just whack it off?
You know what? I've never been to one of those ceremonies.
No, not just a ceremony, but in the hospital.
I'm sure they
in the hospital.
I would assume. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Adoption.
Adoption.
Which is funny for us because we've
I'm
adopted.
totally against it.
Are you against it? Since we've already adopted 4.
Oh.
And, and probably gonna adopt more, hopefully, someday. Probably gonna happen. Because if you haven't watched my other videos, we gotta get to 22.
22.
So
that's
we're only at 5. We got a little bit of work to do. Baby piercing.
Ears at 2 years old, that's about as far as I go.
So we actually pierced Lexi's ears at 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
And then Brooklyn's we pierced at 2 years. Casey's was pierced at 2 years. Like, it was cute to have like little tiny pearls in your baby's ears, but I think now I would actually wait till they're older, because like my girls rarely ever wear earrings. I mean, they may put earrings on once a week, and it's kind of always like a hassle. So I feel like when kids are old enough to take care of it themselves and it actually means something to them. I feel like I've changed my parenting style a little bit from then. I don't know, I didn't get my ears pierced till I was 16, and I did it at home and I almost passed out. Breast milk versus formula. When Lexi was born, I wanted to breastfeed only because it was free. Like, that's my philosophy of breastfeeding. I wanted to breastfeed her because it didn't cost any money, and I was never able to breastfeed Lexi, and I didn't breastfeed any of my other kids because they were adopted. What do you think?
Studies and studies saying that breastfeeding is the way to go. Being that I wasn't, and I'm 6'5".
You weren't breastfed? Your mom didn't breastfeed you?
No, neither
that was
of
like
us.
That was like the in thing to do back then. I wasn't breastfed.
Yeah.
We're okay.
We're all right.
All of our kids weren't breastfed.
It's not good to feed a kid breast milk with meth in it.
We have had those parents. That was tough. I think breastfeeding is great. If I had been able to breastfeed, I would have loved to have breastfed her, but ultimately it was more of a selfish thing of not paying $27 a canister for her formula. Yeah. And not being on WIC because she was our child. I didn't really feel like it's a closeless thing. I think it'd be kind of annoying to have to do it. And that way you could feed her too. Like, it wasn't always me that had to feed her.
Right. You
could get up in the middle of the night and feed her, so.
And I did. We don't care about the medical benefits. It was just about being free or...
I don't really think there are medical benefits. Like, all of our kids have been formula fed. We really don't get sick that often. I think the person who gets sick the most in the house is me. So whatever happened there. Again, this is a controversial subject I guess we haven't really done too much research in, because foster kids and adopting kids, we don't really get the option. So it's formula for life. So the cry it out method versus another method.
The Farber method, isn't it Farber? We're a combination, I think, of both.
I think there's an age limit where, like, when they're super newborns, like up to maybe like 9 to 12 months, I'm pretty quick to get to them.
But we work on a schedule so that they know when they're expecting a bottle, so
or not.
And that helps, I think.
And I think
they know that they're.
I know that, like, we even have. I just had this conversation with him the other day. How long do I let him cry? Because, like, I feel like we put a time limit on it. Like, if they are screaming for longer than 5 minutes, redirect or change
the environment.
The environment, yeah. We do. We teach self-soothing, I think, from the very beginning. I think when babies know, like, they're gonna get what they need when they need it, the cry it out method really isn't necessary, because.
But we also believe in, if they're fed, clean,
and older, that they can try to entertain themselves. And a lot of our kids, I don't think we've ever really experienced that too much, just because we have so many kids.
Yeah, they're always entertained. They're
always entertained, or like if there is, like, if I need to cook dinner, I have older kids to help hold the younger kids or read them a book or whatever, so. Spanking.
I was spanked. I turned out fine.
I was half spanked. I was half spanked.
Just on one cheek?
Just on one cheek. My answer to that is not a fan, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Foster care have found other alternatives to discipline.
We're not
you can't spank. Yeah, you can't spank foster kids, and our parenting style changes so much with each child. Not a huge fan of spanking. Never have been. Probably never will be.
Probably not. It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste. Co-sleeping. So I know that we're gonna, I know we're not gonna agree on this.
I'm sure your audience loves sleep or don't sleep together.
Oh, it's not co-sleeping for us.
Oh, co-sleeping with children?
Joel and I don't co-sleep at all. He snores and I'm a light sleeper. So we actually have 2 separate beds in our room, but with like this huge, like massive airplane fan in between us so that I can't hear him. But it's not asking if we co-sleep together, which we don't. It's asking if we co-sleep with our children.
Oh.
So So still...
Just one child.
No.
Is all you've ever really slept with.
If I could put like 3 king-size beds in my room and co-sleep with all of my children, I would. Because it just does something for a mother's heart to know like her kids are like right there all the time, all night long.
I think you have attachment disorder.
I do have reactive attachment disorder. Here's the deal though.
I would say
reactive. Just
disorder.
Attachment disorder?
Just attachment disorder.
But not to you. So what's up with that?
You would if I didn't snore so bad.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that's why you put my bed in the room because for
you used to have his own
5
room.
years I just had my own room.
And I like
so now
clothes.
I've been moved into
See,
the room.
now I've moved you in, and then little by little I'm gonna move each child's bed into a room. See, that's why I can't wait.
We'll just have a big open space.
Okay, but see, co-sleeping people do that, and that's why I can't wait for like a smaller house with tighter quarters, because then I know my kids are closer to me. Lexi slept in my bed until she was 7 years old, and I feel like that was her choice. That was completely her choice. I never asked her to or didn't tell her she couldn't. I feel like the other kids, because they were foster kids, they weren't allowed to sleep with me. Silas and Brooklyn just kind of, they need their own space. They're super light sleepers, and they've never asked to sleep with me or been scared to sleep in their own bed because that's what they were used to. Lexi started sleeping with us 11 months old. I think that's what co-sleeping is all about, is letting the child kind of decide when they feel comfortable.
Does that mean that you would let breastfeeding go on until they were 7 too?
We have passed that question. You can't.
I can't go back.
You can't go back. Homeschool versus public school versus private school versus charter schooling. Let's hear what you have to say about this one.
That I keep calling public school normal.
Normal school, yes. Calls it normal school and not normal school.
No, I don't call it not. I just
normal
call it
school.
homeschool.
When you got
homeschool or normal school. That's what happens when you have 16 years of public schooling.
16?
Including college.
16? Oh yeah, because it's only 12.
That's homeschool versus public school.
Yeah, but
So
you know,
I've gone back and forth on this, and I believe this day and age I am a big proponent of homeschool.
and I feel like
Sorry, Mom.
I feel like I proved myself like this past year. I actually follow some YouTube channels where their kids go to charter schools and they really, really like them.
Yeah.
And so I think it depends on location for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that could be something we could look
how
at
their funding is set up
in high school, because I don't know if we'll always homeschool. Right now, that's what we feel is right for our kids and our family, and homeschool all the way.
It's homeschool all the way. And we're doing good, and they love it.
Vaccinations. Okay, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in before he does.
Jeez.
I wouldn't do any vaccinations if I didn't have to.
Anti-vaxxer.
Rude. You're not supposed to be judgmental. Judge your own self, sir. But we had to do it because we wanted to do foster care and because all the foster kids have to be vaccinated. So when we signed up for foster care, Lexi, before we could move on with our foster care license, Lexi had to get 6 shots because I chose not to vaccinate. I would still choose not to vaccinate. That I have done my research on, and I'm not getting into it, but I'll allow him to make his own decision.
If you have questions about it, ask your doctor before they just go and say, we're administering all of these. Ask what's in them, why they're having them. I'm not totally anti, because they have research showing that they have research showing that some of these children that are not getting proper vaccinations are starting to get diseases that were almost in non-existence. Do your research.
I have done my research. I mean, slightly some of my problems could be like my super phobia to needles.
Yeah, probably.
A little bit.
A lot of it.
Goes into the next one, medicating children.
I don't believe in prescribing medication for children without really knowing what the problem is. I think we are in a culture right now where you prescribe drugs for every little thing, from sleeping to allergies to hyperness. Sometimes it's just a good food diet change. Maybe if you didn't put Mountain Dew in your bottle for your children, they wouldn't be hyper.
Because that so has happened. So it's funny how our minds are completely different on this, because he jumps straight to like a psychological medication, and I'm over here like, okay, I try to keep my kids healthy before they get sick. So he's all on psychological, and I'm more like antibiotic,
right, and I understand
inhaler sort of things.
Normal things. I mean, I'm not gonna let a child die because he has
right, and
allergic
that's kind of
reaction to
my
something.
view.
I'm talking.
I try to nip it in the bud before it gets to that point.
Right, we do emergency and gummy vitamins and natural vitamins.
Eating healthy to prevent from getting sick.
Because we've had foster kids that come in and they've been
over medicated. They're way over medicated.
Here's their 6 prescriptions a day that they have to take.
And there's 7.
Right.
And they're actually more well behaved in our home off of the medication than they are on the medication, because you got an upper and then you got a downer and then you got a midstream and then you got a sleeping pill. And yeah, we don't really do medication unless it's like an emergency need.
Right.
So even with my kids, like if they say they have a headache, I'll make them drink some water, eat some protein, take a little rest, and before we assess and reevaluate if they need a like Tylenol or something.
I just Benadryl them all night long.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
he
just
does
kidding.
not. Cloth versus disposable diapers. So
guess what? It's the year 2000.
Hi, I'm Shauna. Have you met me? There was a time in our life not too long ago where we had 5 children in diapers. 5 of them. Okay, it was like 3 years ago. All those little itty bitty kids. Do you even understand how many hours a day we were changing diapers? Can you imagine doubling that? Because you'd have to self-wash all of those cloth diapers.
It's the year 2017. You gotta be an all-natural special person.
Be nice.
Who do cloth diapers.
I have friends that cloth diaper. They're cute. I get it. They're cute. It's natural. If you have one, have at it, sister. But
enjoy hipsterdom.
it's not for us. I'm good.
Yeah.
Totally good. Store-bought baby food or homemade baby food?
Who cares?
Yeah, we've done both. I feel like if I have some leftover sweet potatoes, I'll mash it up, mix it up, and make homemade baby food.
Yeah.
But food is
Most of our kids didn't really care.
Well, a lot of our kids go to table food pretty quick. I think baby food is sometimes a waste of time and a waste of money. Ati, remember she wouldn't eat baby food at all. She would not eat baby food. I remember like she's 9, 10 months old, would not eat baby food. And that night we had Mexican casserole, and we always pulled her up with her high chair and sat her at the table, and she really wanted that, and so I gave her a little bit. She ate like a whole portion of Mexican casserole that night. That's it.
Wow.
Do you have any other controversial subjects to talk about when it comes to parenting?
Well, I think you lost enough subscribers.
Probably was a big mistake having him come on board. But I was interested in some of the things that you had to say. And now you know some of the things. You pretty much probably knew all of my answers to those, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you would have asked me, what would your wife say about this? I probably would have gotten
I think my main one was
95% of that
circumcision, because I wasn't sure how you really...
I haven't had to make that decision because
we haven't and so it's kind of like, I don't know.
We haven't had a baby boy, but...
that we've had to make the decision for.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming along today. If you made it all the way through this video without shutting it off, leave down in the comments below if you like that Mr. Modern house husband joined us this time. Yay! We'll have to do more videos that include this beautiful face. Toot toot. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. We don't really care.
Oh, this isn't my game. I was circumcised. They'll probably give me another kid tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, not anymore. Oh, who knew ladybugs could be so intense?
It's not gonna bite you. It's still a ladybug.
Yeah, but it's with such oh my goodness. I've never, what if it's like mental? Sorry, okay. We have enough kids, we're bound to get one of them right. Peace.